So, hi Dan, thanks for being on this episode of the Business Spotlight. I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about yourself and your company. So, the goal of Business Spotlight is going to be for us to learn a bit more about you, hopefully inspire some of the people that are watching today and thinking about getting their business or entrepreneurship off the ground. So, Dan, if you could start by telling us who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Mark. My name's Dan Ince. I'm director of a company called BrandWorks Social. No surprises, it's a social media agency. That company was founded last year, 2022. So still relatively new as a business, but my kind of background behind that is I've worked in marketing for 25 odd years. So used to run marketing for some big brands like Heinz, Mr. Kipling, Dorset cereals, big brands like that. Yep. Moved into consultancy, and then more latterly moved into providing social media for B2B SMEs, basically.
That's great. Thanks for that, Dan. So, Dan, what would you say makes you stand out from the other businesses in your sector?
I think for me, what I found is I was doing lots of consultancy with smaller businesses, and they kept coming to me and saying, we need to be doing social media, but who would you recommend to do it with? There's loads of social media agencies out there. But I think what makes us different is because of my marketing career, we've always focused on kind of making marketing simple and helping businesses kind of get unstuck and take action. So we approach social media in that way. We look at it as just one tool, just one channel. And really for us, it's about working with great businesses who've got great stories, but to be blunt, they kind of lack the time, the will, or the skill to share it themselves on social. So we approach a marketing kind of approach and mindset to bringing that alive for them on social. And I think the key thing for me really is it's about helping our clients stand out and not be average, because actually there's so much noise, everyone can just kind of blend in. And the most important thing I think to do these days is to make sure you really stand out. So I think that's what we do that's probably a little bit different.
Yeah, no, that's a great share. Thank you very much for that, Dan. So what's your backstory? What, if you can give us a little bit more of an insight into, your journey so far, where it all started and sort of where you are now with the business.
Yeah, so as I say, that business founded last year. So we've been running about 18 months. Started with just a couple of clients, like most people do, you always start small. We've grown fairly rapidly over the last 18 months. So we're now working with a range of businesses, leadership coaching, some charities, some events organizations, some tech businesses, some health and safety businesses, even a business that sells like eco products. So a real spread. And I think like any business at the start, we approached it with a clear idea of who we wanted to serve and what we wanted to do. And to be blunt, over the last 18 months, we're on that journey of meeting new people, bringing new clients in, seeing what works and what doesn't. And that's really helped the business kind of expand over the course of the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Thanks for that, Dan. So what does the future look like for you? I mean, what do you think are going to be your main challenges?
I think the main challenge for us is kind of practicing what we preach. So, I've talked about helping our clients stand out by focusing on what they do uniquely, the problems that they solve for their clients. As you can tell by the spread of businesses we're currently working with, we're working with a range of different organizations. So for us going forwards, there's a few things we need to do. We plan to focus our efforts on probably one or two more specific sectors. So really focus in and become experts in those areas. The other things we need to keep doing, continue to develop our client base, which is a lot of meeting people, networking, engaging. And in the meantime, I'm also building the team, because it's not just me. There's a team behind me who do the work. So yeah, as always in business, there's plenty to do. So small matter of focus, clients and team, simple as that.
Yeah, brilliant. No, that's great. Thanks for that. That's really good. So moving on to yourself as the business owner, Dan, what's been your biggest lesson to date, and what stands out for you the most as a lesson learning from the business?
I think the biggest lesson over the last 18 months in particular has been, up until that point, I've always been employed or run a consultancy where it's me doing all of the work. And with this business, I really had to learn that I can't and shouldn't be trying to do everything myself. So that's been a really important learning. On the flip side, the most key learning coming out of that over the last 18 months has been learning not to do everything myself, but also making sure that the standards I want to achieve are achieved consistently. I mean, I'll put my hand up. About a year ago, we lost a client, and we lost a client because, to be blunt, I took my eye off the ball. And I think that wake-up call in terms of learning to let go and not try and do everything yourself, but also making sure what's being delivered is to your quality standard. Really, really important lesson for me to learn at an early stage in the business.
Yeah, no, that's a really great share. And hopefully some of the people watching this today will actually take that on and learn from that, because I hear it all the time from business owners about wanting to do everything themselves, but realizing that you just can't.
You can't.
So with that in mind, let's go back in time, Dan. So what would be the best piece of advice that you could give the 18-year-old Dan that would help yourself, but also the others watching this today move forward?
I've kind of got two answers to this. So there's the kind of the classic, right? Which I'm a marketeer. So that's all about making sure you've got a business idea that delivers against a real need, get feedback from your customers, then take action. Don't be afraid to let it develop. So that's the kind of the classic answer. But actually, the thing I think I found most useful is, as a business owner, particularly at the start, you've got to learn and appreciate there's going to be loads of ups and downs, right? And the most important thing with all those ups and downs is to make sure you kind of control kind of both your emotion and your rational response. So there's two things that someone else suggested to me I did in the very early stages of setting up my business, which made a real difference. One was set up a spreadsheet, which effectively is a cash flow spreadsheet. So you've got a sense as a small business owner starting up, how much time, how many months maybe you've got ahead of you at any one time, based on the money you might have had in reserves and the income you're then bringing in from your business, or the profit in your business. That was really important to stem that worry, perhaps when things are a bit up and down and quiet at the start, knowing that actually you don't need to panic, you don't need to worry, you've got some roadway in front of you. So that was one important thing from a kind of an emotional point of view, or a rational point of view as well, I guess. Yeah. The other key thing was asking customers for reviews. Yeah. And I found that incredibly valuable because A, it kind of reinforces what you're doing and is it working for the customers you're working with. Yeah. B, to be blunt, when you're going through emotional challenges, as all business owners do, you can remind yourself that you are great at what you do. Yeah. And C, those reviews give you great marketing collateral that you can use to then share with confidence what you do and how you deliver for other people. You know, people like to know that the businesses they're looking to work with are working successfully with other people. And I think reviews really help with that. So there'd probably be my two things: cash flow spreadsheet and reviews from a kind of a mental well-being perspective.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's some really powerful stuff there. So great shares there, Dan. And I think it's synonymous with any business. We can all say how great we are at what we do, but when you've got raving clients and raving fans telling others how great you are, it's so much more powerful. It so is. So yeah, that's really good. So what inspires you, Dan? I mean, what is it that gets you up, that sort of makes you do what you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis?
I think what I realized probably 10, 15 years ago is I quite like fixing stuff. So I quite like working with businesses, working with brands where either they've kind of lost their way a little bit and we need to get them back on track, or they've got great opportunity for growth, but it's about putting the right plans in place. So I love working with inspirational business owners who've got a real great sense of what they do, and then helping them capture that, use it, share it on social media to get it out to a wider audience. 9 times out of 10, a lot of the businesses we work with are kind of like best kept secrets. Yeah. And I see our job as breaking that and making sure more of the right people know about them. So I think that kind of helping them improve, helping them move forwards, helping them take action, seeing results, that's the bit that's always floated my boat, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant one. I really like that. I think there's probably a lot of people that can relate to that as well, Dan. So thank you for that. So lastly, Dan, are there any, or is there any news or any offers that you've currently got going on, or is it just a simple case of sharing with our viewers your, how to get hold of you, your website, and where you hang out on LinkedIn, that kind of stuff?
So current news, we're a finalist up for an award in the Hertfordshire Small Business Awards, and the final's next week. So that's just a, hey, fingers crossed for us, really. We'll see how that goes. First time we've entered awards, so it's been an interesting experience all round. So we'll see how that goes. And then equally, I guess for anyone kind of watching, anyone viewing, like a lot of businesses, we provide free consultancy calls. So any B2B SMEs who are out there who really want to step up their social media, they want to stand out, they want to connect with their audience, get in touch with us, contact me, connect with me via LinkedIn, or visit our website at brandworkssocial.co.uk. Get in touch, arrange a call, always happy to have a conversation and see where it goes.
That's fantastic, Dan. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate all of those shares. I'm sure our viewers will benefit from a lot of that information. And to all our viewers, thank you very much for this episode of the Business Spotlight. We've been here with Dan Ince from the BrandWorks. Thanks, Dan, for your time today. And thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you all again soon.